Welcome to CoDev Talk Series, your inside look into life at CoDev. I'm Coach Beth. In every episode, we sit down with our leaders, recruiters, and team members to talk about career growth, work culture, industry insights, and everything in between. In our last episode, we broke down the recruitment blueprint. Today, we are pulling back the curtain entirely. Our amazing guests traveled across the Pacific to be with us today. So joining us all the way from the US are our amazing client success managers, 𝗖𝗍 and 𝗫𝗄𝗄. Welcome to the Philippines, ladies.
Thank you.
Yes, can you briefly introduce yourselves? How long have you been with CoDev? And tell us more about your role as CS managers.
Yeah,
Would you like to start?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm 𝗫𝗄𝗄. I've been with CoDev for almost 5 years now. And I originally started with CoDev. I had just come home from living in the Philippines. And I was approached by 𝗦𝗂𝗰𝗰𝗲𝗄, who used to work here, and he was like, I would love to have you work with us, and I love working here. It's been so awesome. I have a little boy at home, a little 20-month-old, and he is just pure boy energy. He keeps me very busy. I've been married for 3 years, and I love to dance. I love to go to Disneyland. I love to travel. Love all things pink. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, thank you. 𝗖𝗍?
Yes, I am 𝗖𝗍. I have been with CoDev about the same time as 𝗫𝗄𝗄, about 5 years. I was also approached by Mike like 5 years ago, and this was kind of my first big girl job. I've never done, worked for a cool company like this, so it's been awesome just getting to meet all of you guys and be in more of a corporate setting. I don't know, outside of work, I also love to dance. I love being active. We both live in Utah, so we have the mountains, so lots of outdoor stuff, which is fun.
Right, so this is such a great milestone. So since you're finally here in a local office, how does it feel transitioning from seeing our amazing Filipino talent through a screen to collaborating with them face to face?
It's been incredible. Like really, like we have known all these people virtually for 5 years now, and so to be quite honest, they've just kind of become it's felt like faces on a screen. And so like to meet all of you in person and to interact and build an actual relationship, like it's changed our lives, honestly. Like we've had so much fun and like totally changed how like working with you guys. Like now, like I have relationships to go home with and like build off of from home, so I'm so excited.
Totally, and I think being here with you guys, you can just feel how genuine all of you are. You're the sweetest people that I have ever met. You've been so hospitable to us, and like 𝗫𝗄𝗄 said, it's just so much different getting to see you guys face to face and give you guys hugs and actually connect with you. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, and it's great to finally meet you in person. I hope you enjoy your stay here.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
All right, so let's start with first impressions. Either or anyone can answer this question. So you both see the exact moment a U.S. client interacts with a Filipino candidate for the first time. So what are the immediate things, about positive and negative, that completely make or break a candidate's chances during the initial introduction?
I think one of the positives is just being confident in yourself and showing your personality. A lot of US culture, we want to get to know you and just see what you're like day to day too. It's not all work stuff is important, but we also want to know like how you guys communicate. We want to see your personality, things like that. So I feel like when they get on and they're just bubbly and they're outgoing and fun, it makes a big difference for our clients.
Yeah, 100%. I will say I have noticed a difference in like the software delivery business unit versus like the operations and go-to-market business unit in terms of like initial impressions. I think in the software delivery side of things, there is more of an emphasis on the candidate's experience and like making sure that they know what they're talking about, and a lot more questions focused on that. Whereas on the operations and go-to-market side, it really is a personality fit for the team. And they really want to have people that are outgoing, and they don't always need to necessarily be outgoing. Like we have plenty of shy team members, but people that are bubbly and kind and willing to express themselves. And they want, a lot of our clients really do want to have a good relationship with their team members and really do care about their Filipino team members. So I think initial impressions, if you're trying to make a good first impression, I would say just be yourself, but be happy and like just I'm trying to think of the word. Like, but just be like yourself and bring that positivity to the client.
Yeah, and the first impressions aren't just about skills.
Yeah.
It's about presence, preparation, and professionalism.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. For 𝗖𝗍, let's talk about the cultural communication gaps. So what is the number one thing that Filipino professionals do or don't do when communicating that frequently confuses or causes anxiety for a U.S. client?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I will say I do think that Filipinos are great at communicating. You guys are always very thorough, at least when working with us, which we all appreciate. So I think all of our U.S. clients love that. The biggest thing that probably causes anxiety or confusion is maybe committing to things that you actually can't finish. I feel like a lot of times some of our Philippine team members want to just impress the client or do exactly what they're asking, which we all appreciate. But sometimes things just aren't realistic and our clients have, unrealistic goals for them. And they want to be nice and say, yes, we can do this. Like, we'll get this done for you, knowing it probably won't work.
It's about commitment.
But yes, so I think just being honest with them and telling them, like, hey, that's a great idea, but I think this, and this, like, is going to end up taking this much time. I'm going to need to, it's not going to be done the way you exactly think. And just being able to have those back and forth communication with the client is very important so that they, aren't confused and they know what to expect.
Yeah, that's such an important insight. Often the challenge isn't about the capability. It's about clarity and communication and also the commitment.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, 𝗠𝗏𝗃, on the flip side, you manage accounts where clients are absolutely obsessed with their Filipino hires. What specific traits separate an ordinary order taker for a gold standard team member who become indispensable to a U.S. company? Is it different if you're talking about tech positions versus non-tech positions?
I'm like, that's kind of works perfectly with what I was just saying actually in the last question, but 100%. Some specific traits that I think separate an order taker from a gold standard team member is people who want to take initiative. I think or like if they are confused, I think what 𝗖𝗍 was saying earlier too, I think there's been a lot of instances, not always, but there's been a lot of instances where we've found out after the fact that an employee like had a question and didn't ask, and then they're like 2 or 3 weeks behind because they were scared to ask the initial question or wanted us to ask it. And we typically do try to encourage the talent supervisors to or the project supervisors to encourage the team members to ask the client yourself, and
Make
obviously we're always
relationship.
happy to step in when needed, but help that relationship grow, or you need the clients really do want to build a good trusting relationship with them. So I would just say if you do have a question or you're confused, ask the questions. If you don't feel good or need to take some time off, be communicative, be open. I also think the people that our clients are obsessed with are the ones that they have friendships with. So
Definitely.
work to build a friendship with your client. Ask about them, ask about
Build a
their
relationship
family,
with them.
ask about their life, follow up with their hobbies, or
Right.
I saw this online when I was after work and I thought of you. Build that relationship with them like you would any normal coworker.
Try to get to know them at least at a personal level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think be transparent with them in your one-on-ones as much as you can, in a professional way still, but in our one-on-ones, even with our director, the more honest and open I am and talk about even personal issues and stuff, the more we can build that relationship. So yeah.
So I think the most valued team members don't just complete tasks.
Yeah.
So they take ownership and then they create value. Yeah. And this question is for 𝗖𝗍. We want our viewers to succeed, which means we have to give them some hard truths. So what are the major red flags or habits that consistently lead a candidate being rejected by a client, or worse, terminated for a remote role?
Well, obviously, I feel like there's certain like technical questions and things like that if you're lying on your resumes or not being as honest, it will come out. I also think with the increase of AI, that has started to become a little bit of an issue on interviews as well, because obviously we want everybody using AI and it's in the day-to-day of life, but you also need to know when to use it and when it's appropriate. And so being aware of that and ensuring with the client on the interview, I think, is a big thing. The other thing I would just say is the biggest thing, like when you're first meeting people, is like your communication, your personality, like your promptness to the interview. It's all your first impression stuff. And so, you know, sometimes things happen and you do have an emergency and you can't attend, but that is their first impression of you and it doesn't always look as good. And so I think just being aware of those small things, you know, looking professional, having your camera and background set up nice, all of that goes into making sure that the client does think you'd be a good fit for their team.
And then clients invest in people they can depend on, especially when working remotely.
Definitely, yes, it's a huge thing.
Right. Okay. So for viewers watching this who might feel underqualified or don't have the years of international experience yet, how can they leverage their soft skills or attitude to stand out and win over a U.S. client anyway? So, yeah.
I think personality is seriously such a big thing, and like just showcasing who you are. I've had some interviews with clients where there's people who are way qualified for the job, like their tech skills and everything lines up perfectly, but then they interview this person who's a little less qualified, but they just love that they can connect with them and share their personality, and they end up hiring the person like that because they're like, it's okay, we can still work with you, we can upskill you.
But we get along.
But personality is like a little bit harder to, you know, teach and takes longer. So I think being comfortable and knowing, like, all of us here, all of our clients, especially like in the US and everything, I know we can seem scary, but we want to get to know you and, like, you know, we want to be friends and see how you interact with us.
Do you have something to add, Kenzie?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I think a lot of times it's felt like our employees feel like they have to cater themselves to the client. And I think like it seems like we have a theme here, but like confidence, like just be confident in yourself. Just like showcase who you are to the clients. And they really do want to, I'm like Filipinos, I will say English, I think like really making sure your understanding of English is good. I've noticed on a lot of calls, sometimes there's a miscommunication because there's good spoken English, but maybe the understanding is a little bit different. And so there's been a lot of very simple
solutions.
There's been a lot of simple solutions to small problems or like to bigger issues of just understanding what the client was saying and then what the employee was understanding and realigning on that. So I think English comprehension, like if you could just always be building on that is awesome. Yeah.
That's really encouraging to hear. So experience is valuable, but I think a positive attitude, your willingness to learn, and also strong work ethic can open just, you know, many doors.
Totally.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about CoDev's safety net. To wrap it up, why is navigating a relationship with a U.S. client through CoDev and having CSMs just like you guys in the corner is so much better than trying to go solo and freelance platforms?
I would just say CoDev is set up to make everyone successful. Like we want the employee to be successful just as much as we want the client to be successful. And that's what we always tell our clients. We have someone in the employee corner with the project supervisors, and we have the CSMs in the client's corner. And we're a really great team working together to ensure that the employees are happy, that the clients are happy. And we really do want everyone to be successful. I know like you can't go wrong with building relationships, like with anyone, just in general, like that's the purpose of life, is for us to have and build these relationships. And so when these employees come in, like some of our supervisors, all of our supervisors are incredible, and they have built these really incredible relationships with their employees, and we want our future employees to have that. We want them to have those relationships with their supervisors and have a safe place at work that they can go or someone to advocate for them when the client has concerns or issues. We want that for them. So I just think it's better to have more people in your corner, like in general.
I like what you said, advocate.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like our whole job as CSMs and for the project supervisors is to make you guys successful and make things smooth and easy for you guys. And CoDev too, like they offer so much. I feel like the office spaces, and you guys have help with IT and things like that. And you know, when you're just working alone with a U.S. client, that can be really hard to navigate. So.
Yeah, and remote work can sometimes be isolating. Do you agree?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but having experienced CSMs and a dedicated support structure creates, I think, a partnership that's built for long-term success.
Yeah.
Totally, so important.
Yeah, so that wraps up another episode of CoDev Talk Series. If there's one major takeaway today, it's this. U.S. clients aren't looking for flawless robots. They're looking for transparent partners. So tech skills can be learned, but extreme ownership, proactive communication, and the confidence to take feedback are what make you truly irreplaceable. You don't need a perfect resume to win. You just need the right attitude and CoDev to back you up. So if you enjoy this conversation, make sure you like, follow, and share. Check out our open remote roles for developers, accountants, VAs, and support specialists in the description below. So don't just work, thrive with CoDev, where global careers are built for growth. This is Coach Beth. See you in the next CoDev Talk Series.